Racing Podcast, Season 2, Episode 4.
Welcome back.
As always, thank you to our sponsors, Woody's Ale House and Grille and Fly Racing.
Right.
It is July 10th, 2023. It's been a hot minute.
It has been a minute since we've been on here, and we apologize.
Yes, I'm trying to see when our last podcast was.
We haven't been racing a ton. A lot of big trips, I guess.
Yeah, like that have taken up a lot of time and effort, and
this will be our Red Bud amateur and pro weekend recap.
Yep, so we left so this is a week late because we needed time to
rest and breathe.
Because we left for was it Tuesday or Wednesday?
It was Wednesday morning.
Wednesday morning. So June 28th, we left Wednesday morning. I mean, we got to Red Bud at like 9 that night.
Yeah. Yep. Overall, by the time we stopped for lunch, stopped for dinner, and then pee breaks, whatever. Yeah. It was about 11 hour. It was about 11-hour trip altogether.
Buchanan, Michigan. It's right on. It's like an hour and a half from Chicago.
Yeah.
So yeah, it took us 11 hours. We got there Wednesday night, set up camp. So like with Red Bud, with each of these pro tracks, they each have these camping passes you can get. Each one's different though. They're not like generalized across.
Yeah, everyone's different per track.
So Red Bud has we did the camping Wednesday through Sunday.
Yep.
Was it 240?
200.
200. 200 or 210?
It was just 200.
200. 200 that's no hookup.
Right. That's just
no water.
Parking in the field.
Just parking. And we did a lot.
Yep. A3.
Yeah. Yep. Because we didn't want to be in B-lot.
I guess, we don't know. We didn't really hear nothing about this B-lot until the last night about how crazy it is there.
But you know what? I saw a couple things on TikTok, and there was like some really weird things.
Yeah, I guess it's like you're not allowed. You can't go in B-lot unless you have a B-lot pass.
That's fine.
Like you can't go there. They have a gate, and you don't go in there unless you have a B-lot pass.
I'll just sit a chair.
Like everybody else can go wherever they want. But you can't go to the B-lot unless you have a B-lot pass.
You should make it so that nobody in B-lot can go anywhere else.
I don't. Yeah, that's. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I saw a couple videos on TikTok that were pretty. Somebody had like a pool there, and they were like backflipping off. Like they had a deck on their camper like ours, and they were backflipping off that, and it was like a kiddie pool. I'm like, you're gonna break your ankle. So yeah. Anyway, we were.
I'm gonna guess they were highly intoxicated.
I hope so. I'm gonna say yes because the whole weekend was pretty much like that. So Thursday was practice, correct?
Practice, yep.
What was like your first? Like when you first got out there and your first time on Red Bud, like what were your thoughts?
It's just a big track. It's big and the very first practice it was fairly smooth, but man, it didn't take long with all them bikes and that track gets.
Well, that and the practices were like stacked. They had there was
a lot of bikes there.
So there was like people who were trying to do jumps like couldn't because they were trying not to land on anybody.
Yeah, that was what. Yeah, I did. It was. Yeah, it did. It was that was a thing too. Like I did. I think it was a Vet 40 plus.
Was 40.
It was 40 plus was the Vet 40 plus was the practice I was in. And it was. They never did split us up, but there had to be, I want to say 50, 60 bikes in that group.
But you were in there too.
Yeah, and there was varying skill levels from a beginner that could barely even that wheels on the ground to a rider. So it was
kind of stupid.
And that was actually, and that's even when I was watching Matt Jackson's practice, he was AB was a practice. And it was the same thing. There was B riders that were, in my opinion, should not have been out there even in B practice, and so it made it really hard for fast guys like Matt and a few other guys. Like they had to watch what they were doing because they would end up jumping on top or running in the back of these slower riders, and that's pretty much what I saw. It was that way. Every practice was that way. I mean, there was just a lot of bikes on the track and skill levels from beginner to to expert, where you had to be like, I did the double part of the leap pretty much every time, but there was a couple times where you go up to it and there was guys all the way across it, and you didn't know which guy was gonna was just gonna roll it and what guy was gonna jump it. So it was just you had to be really careful.
I mean, you got 4 sessions in, correct?
4 sessions.
I think it would have been smarter to, even if you had to go down to 3 to separate them into skill levels.
Yeah, it may have been. Yeah,
so
I believe they were 20. Was 15 or 20 minutes on the track.
I think it was 15.
Yeah, 15 or 20 minutes on the track.
How much was it to practice?
53 is what I think I came out to. Yeah.
Sure. So, okay, jeez.
But it was, I mean, by the 4th practice, that track was, and it's weird. I think I say this, I find myself saying this a lot, but that track was the roughest because, and we talked about, you know, the beginning of this season about Tomahawk, but it just, you can't, it's apples and oranges because Tomahawks gets rough with acceleration bumps and braking bumps that are like 3-foot rollers, whereas this was 3-foot square edged bumps. I mean, they're like in that practice and into the race Friday, that down some of them downhills, there was 2-foot holes, square edge, like your front tire would go in them, and then if you were too far forward, you're going over the bars. I mean, your tire would fit into it, and that would be it. It was very challenging. It was fun. It was very challenging.
Would you do it again?
Oh, 100%. No. Yeah, I would do it again. Absolutely.
So a little bit of backstory here, like.
I like to have my suspension. I like to have a little better suspension.
So Matt Jackson came with us this past week, that weekend, and he was supposed to be
doing a pro race, but
he registered for it, but they had too many. Like, they only take 90, so he was not part of that 90.
Right, he didn't. Yep,
and that was pretty disappointing.
But that's
and he was upset about it. But.
There's a lot of things about the whole MX sports, you know, all that stuff. It just.
Well, but. Like, that one was legitimately, there was too many people.
Yeah, there was too many, but but he didn't find out until the Wednesday, or he didn't find out till the Tuesday at noon.
First, they told him 2 weeks prior.
Right.
Which is like,
and then it turned into 1 week prior, and then it turned into the day prior, because he found out Tuesday, and we were leaving Wednesday.
Yeah.
Which would have been
4 days.
Yeah, it would have been right. Would have been a few days. Well, I would know by Friday, but
they still gave you 3 days.
Yeah, it would have been 2 or 3 days. It just
So he wasn't going to like Washington.
It just amazes me that how they depend on the privateers to keep the sport going. In my opinion, but I mean, you could shake your head all you want.
Yeah, no,
they got 50, there's 40 spots to go in the race, and they've got 15. Factory teams, roughly. So the rest have to be filled in. If they didn't have the privateers to fill them in, not to mention, then you got there's 40 guys to get in, and they allow 90 guys. They want those 90 guys. The other 50 guys, they want their $200. They want their $260 to sign up.
Yeah, because if you think about that, how much is that?
So
that doesn't.
Again, they rely on the privateers, but they fuck them every which way they can.
There's almost $25,000
right.
in
registration that they're not going to. You don't make the race, and they're not giving it to you back.
Right.
So they fuck the privateers every which way they can, and.
Well, we also talked about MJ wanted to get a different tire if he was going to be in the pro. And what was the story behind that?
Well, it wasn't a story behind that. We were just talking about the spec tire, how, you know, unless you're a factory or even a club MX, something like that, you can't get the same tire that they can get. They get a spec tire. Why? And that's just so you're a privateer, and you're already at a disadvantage to begin with because you don't have a factory bike, and you don't have the suspension and the power and all that stuff, and now you can't even get a tire that can compete with them. It just doesn't make sense. At least let the privateer guys buy the spec tire.
Don't give them for free.
They don't even do that. I mean,
you can purchase it.
It's just crazy to me the way they tie privateers' arms behind their back. Just nonstop.
My thing is it's already hard for them because they're going. Some of them work full time.
Right.
Some are lucky that they don't.
That's the thing I was going to get to is now talking to Matt through all this stuff. I mean, it is kind of, especially as he's just getting started, it's kind of confusing and a lot overwhelming. All the different hoops you got to jump through to get signed up for this. Do you think that Chase Sextoner or Hayden Deegan are getting themselves signed up for this? No, they don't have to worry about this shit at all. All they got to worry about is riding their dirt bikes.
That's what I'm saying. When they're on the starting line, all these other guys, all the privateers are thinking like, oh shit, I gotta drive home
yeah,
yet.
the next,
I gotta figure out where to get gas at. If I have money to get gas, I gotta get
these factory kids that are already one step ahead. They don't have no stress. It's just they do have stress. They have stress of riding. They have stress of performing and all that. But
not.
They don't have to worry about, oh, did I sign up for next weekend's race, or am I going to make next weekend?
They also don't have like the money stresses.
No, right.
Because they don't have to worry about like, oh shit, I can't afford to get fuel for next weekend. I'm already halfway.
Yeah. But anyway, it's the sport we do. It's the sport we love. So
no, I just think that it's a little bit like there's certain things they could give like. They could help out a little bit.
They can help out a little bit, but they're not going to, and that's right. And people are still gonna have more people signing up than what they can even let in. So
it's kind of like this reminds me of Loretta's, because I just saw somebody post their like receipt because they had to register before the 11th. It's $200 a class and it's $500 a camp. Like if you want to camp, you have to pay $500.
That's crazy.
That doesn't include hookup or anything. That's not a lottery spot. That is $500 for the week.
That's insane.
If you get there beforehand, it's $75 a night.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so it's $700 like just to like say, okay, I'm going.
Yeah,
and that doesn't include
That's insane.
Just fucking getting there,
that's insane.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like,
$500 to
camp.
To dry camp for a spot in a field that just sits there.
It's like $30 a night.
Yeah,
that covers like me paying someone to clean up trash. And because you're gonna have trash to freaking clean up.
But we do it. That's the crazy thing. It's
done yet. So.
No, but I mean, everybody wants to do it. I mean, so it's crazy.
But anyway, so MJ did not make it into the pro, but he signed up for.
Yeah, he didn't get accepted into the 90. He didn't make it,
but he signed up for.
Yeah, but he did race. Yep, we did race Sundays. He did the amateur race on Sunday.
Yep,
pro sport.
Well, why don't we talk about how we did Friday first?
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying that's what he signed up for.
Why didn't he? So you raced Friday and Sunday. Why didn't he race Friday and Sunday?
I don't know. I don't.
Because that class.
Because there wasn't. They didn't have a pro sport. There was no pro sport classes on Friday.
Is that because of the combine?
Yeah, I think they wanted. Yep, they already ran out of time as it was. So
okay. I was gonna say because we started. When was practice?
8:00 in the morning.
Yeah, so we did practice, and then they had. Quite a few, like 15, 16?
It was 50, there was 15 motors altogether, yep.
Which are 4 laps apiece, except for the combine, which was
20. Well, it might have been 30 minutes. It might have been 30 minutes. I think they'd have
30 minutes.
I think they had them do the 30 minutes, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So they had to do 2 rounds of the combine, right?
Yeah.
So by the time they got all the way back around to Matt's second moto, they were like, we can't do it.
They didn't do another race.
It was like 6 o'clock that night.
I don't know why they couldn't have done it. It wasn't that late, but
because they had all that they had to prep.
Track prep and all that stuff.
Because by the time they probably prepped for hours.
Oh, I'm sure.
And then they also had to do the night
hours, yeah.
And then they also had to do the night cross races.
Stuff, yeah. Yeah, they announced that after the combine they were done wherever it happened to be, and I think they got back around to race 8, and I was race 11, so they didn't.
How much was it for each day to race?
It was 62 or whatever it was. Yeah, 60 something per. Yep, and they gave us back 20.
Yeah,
yep.
Like that.
Well, but you got your practice laps and then your first moto. I don't know. I mean
the math doesn't.
Anyway, they gave us back $20. So better than telling us to not give us back anything. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't say that.
So. That place was a top-notch facility.
That was a very nice place.
Just absolutely beautiful.
Because they started, you had to like stage. If you got there early, you had to stage.
Yeah.
And they let them in at
7.
7.
Yeah.
And from the pictures we've seen, it was like packed.
Mm-hmm.
And by the time we got there at 9, everybody was in.
Yeah,
we had no line to wait.
Right. No.
So they did a really quick job.
Mm-hmm.
And so I thought everything was pretty organized.
Oh, it was very organized. I felt
the facility was really nice.
Yeah, it was meticulously maintained. I mean, there wasn't even weeds anywhere. It was grass was mowed, weeds were whacked. That place was that place was nice. I mean, they do a nice job.
It's not like getting thorns in you when
you
go out.
And we all love Unadilla, but I mean, that place makes Unadilla look like a shithole.
I thought
really
so
does.
too. I was like, wow, this place. It does. It looks it's vastly different. The quality of the facility, but also it wasn't as rowdy.
No, it wasn't.
At least where we were.
No, and usually last year wasn't, and I guess it wasn't as rowdy as years past. They had the security up, but I mean at Red Bud they were there was
state police officers there.
They were just nonstop up and down the rows.
I watched somebody set off a firework and like a security guard was like right there, on top.
Right.
It's like, oh, why did you do that?
Yep.
Yeah, there was a lot of security, but I'm okay with that.
And don't get me wrong, I don't have no haters. I mean, I like you. I love Unadilla, but just this place, just the way the grounds were kept. I mean,
I don't know. I mean,
the roads were smooth. I mean, it was top notch.
Or whatever. I'm sure it's board.
It's a family. I guess I understand. It's a family. The Ritchie family, or I don't know. It's a family that does it. I mean, that's top notch. Even the gates to come in, everything is just from start to finish. I mean, the
only thing I was irritated with was that you couldn't camp Sunday night.
Yeah, that kind of. Well, we're getting ahead of ourselves. We raced Friday.
Yep.
They got so we got one moto in.
Hold on. Let's backtrack a little bit. Sorry. The Thursday night, I think that we snuck up.
Yeah, we snuck up and got locked in.
Yeah, so we snuck up to the pits and like the gate
was wide open.
So we were like, just walk around the track here for a little bit. And it was dark.
Yep.
Wednesday night, actually.
It was Wednesday night, I think.
So we were just like checking out the track and checking out turns, and then we were making our way back and realized that they locked the damn gate that we came in on.
We had
to. Luckily my fat ass was able to squeeze through there.
Squeeze through the chain gate. Yeah, it was
squeezed through the gate.
But then
it's like, oh my god.
Right. Then back to Friday race, got one moto, ended up that track was, oh my god, just I can't even explain it.
It was hot that day too.
It was hot, but we just we just don't ride that kind of stuff. It's hard to practice that stuff when you don't ride it. It was the same in the everybody you section I struggle with the very most was the 180 left after the leap and the 180 right after into the rollers.
Yep.
I could not get. I mean, I don't know. I must have went down 20 times over the course of the entire time we were there. Literally, like I would double leap, single over the lander of the leap, and then into that corner, and I would be perfectly fine 1 minute, and then next minute, next second I'm laying on the ground. It wouldn't even happen so fast. I didn't even know what was happening. Same with the roll. Same with the corner after the tabletop going, and then the 180 going into the rollers. Same thing. I would be doing fine and then on the ground. I wouldn't even know what would happen.
There's a section, but I don't know how to describe it. Over where they blocked off that part of the track you guys can get.
Yeah.
And you had to go.
There was that mulch section.
Yeah.
The mulch section.
And then there was like rollers, and then like it was downhill. And in the corner, it was like
there was no rollers down. It was braking bumps.
Whatever.
They put in. It was what happened. Yeah.
And then the corner was extremely rutted.
Yeah.
I saw a lot of people go down there.
Yeah, I didn't. That was my main struggle was up there. I didn't. The other spot that I kind of struggled with later on, and I don't think, and actually it wasn't. I didn't have a struggle with that until Sunday's race. So Friday, anyway, after going down, I don't know how many times it was. I think there was 38 guys in our. 30. Pretty much
27.
All right, but a full gate because they had another class.
Yeah, the women.
In a full gate, women. Yep. I ended up 20th, on Fridays. I felt like I survived, and that was it. But so Friday, and then when we get to the pro race Saturday.
Yeah, you guys got up early.
We got up early and watched.
We hung out Friday night for a while.
Yeah. Yep. And we
because that's when I think was it Friday or Saturday? I did the helicopter ride.
Saturday.
Okay.
So the pro race, me and Matt got up early, went up and watched practice, which was all that whole day was awesome. I mean, them pros make that track look. I mean, to watch Jack Lawrence ride. I mean, he makes it look like it was just a Sunday, a Saturday night, Sunday ride. I'm sorry, I can't speak. Sunday ride, just like a just a joyride out in the park. I mean, it was just
watching the leap live is.
Oh yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah,
I like that.
But yeah,
because Deegan cased it real hard.
Nah, Deegan didn't. RJ Hampshire cased it real hard.
They have a video of Deegan doing it.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
The one I saw Hampshire case it real hard. Yeah. I watched him. We watched him live case it really hard.
No, that
was actually. That might have been Friday press day.
I was gonna say because we watched
press day.
We watched press day.
Yeah,
which was it was interesting to watch.
Interesting. Friday press day is when Hampshire cased it real hard.
Yeah, no, Hayden did too.
Yeah.
Which I can see that happening. It's pretty.
Yeah, it was a pretty big jump. Yeah.
So I was rooting for Chase Sexton, but
yeah,
that didn't go very well at all.
Jet is out on another level.
Yeah.
So we're not really here to talk about pro stuff. So we'll go on to.
So anyway, that was a long day, and then.
Yep. So Sunday.
Did my helicopter ride that.
Yep. You did the helicopter ride.
It's pretty cool to see Red Bud.
Oh yeah.
For a helicopter ride.
You, Matt, and the Stovers did the helicopter ride. I'm out for that.
It was fun.
Yeah.
I thought I'd be terrified. I was scared at first, but it was fine.
Yeah.
I'd rather do that than I don't know, go to the dentist. So then Sunday, we're up again early at 8.
8 o'clock was practice. And then I was 8th or 9th moto. 8th or 9th moto. And then Matt was 15th. They had called for, it was supposed to be just pouring down rain, but after we got up, I had to sprinkle a little bit, and it wasn't bad out. There was 10 guys in my class, 40 BC, on Sunday, and I had a good start. First got up in the second pretty quick, and got about 3/4 way through the track, and the leader had tipped over, and I led up until the corner before the leap, and it was just there was no smooth section that quarter. It was just a lot of ruts all the way across it. I took the inside and tipped over, and he got back by me.
I was gonna say, because I was watching timing, and you never clocked in at first. Yeah.
Yep. He got back by me, and he led, and then about halfway through the second lap, he tipped over again on the. After the.
Do you remember who that was?
The guy that won. The guy that won both races. Okay. So after Thor's hammer, that big step up on the other side of the track, you go up and you make a left, and you come back down that really, really bad break him uphill. He went to the outside, and I went to the inside and took his line away from him, and got the lead back. And then I think I tipped over in the exact same corner again. Or not, and it really wasn't nothing big. I just tipped over, and then there was just, it was deep peg dragging ruts all the way across.
Yeah, I thought you did good in that one.
Yeah, I led twice a Red Bud, and then I ended up, and then actually picked back up, was still in second, and the 180 before the rollers, I tipped over and ended up 5th. So, and that was, I think I got. Yeah, that was.
And then you officially ended up 8th overall because you didn't.
Overall, we didn't get into that. So we go back down. Matt Jackson goes up for his open pro sport race. He had that was full gate. It wasn't a spot open. He had a really good start.
Yeah, he did.
Was running
12th.
That was where he ended. That's not really where he. That wasn't the spot he was. That was his whole shot spot was 12th.
It was,
ask somebody or didn't.
No, it was like between 11th and 13th is where he was hovering.
It was up top 15 start off the start, and but of course the rain. It was turning out to be a nice day. He goes up. He's literally on the line, and it starts pouring.
Mm-hmm.
He takes off, gets a top 15 start. I think he was 12th on lap 4, and when he come around, I don't even know all the spots. I think there's the sweeper that goes. There's that banked sweeper That red bud. He come around there, and I see his goggles were off, and I thought this is not good. And sure enough, he come around and he went off.
Saw him go off.
So we got back to the camper, and he's like, he said, he said, and I did agree. I mean, I have a real hard time. I don't very rarely. I don't ever go off. I mean, I get hurt and still finish, but I understood his point. I mean, there was nothing to be won here. There was no, there's no series. There's no
he's trying to save his equipment.
Yeah, he's trying to save this bike for the rest for nationals if he can get into some. So he came off.
Yeah.
And then at that point, we were all kind of over. I mean, it was pretty much a week. We were all over it. At that point, we're like, you know what? It was raining. We're like, let's go.
This was at like 1 o'clock.
This is at 1 o'clock. So I'm like, fuck it. I don't even care. I'm not doing my second. We wanted to get home. We missed Lucas. We just, we wanted to get home. So originally we had planned on, staying in overnight,
into
doing
Monday.
In the Monday, leaving
Monday morning.
A
cleaner trip. Right. We could have got a full night's sleep.
Yep. So we got packed up, and we were getting, and then it worked out good because in the middle of packing up, they announced there was no camping Sunday night. So had we stayed and did all our motos, it would have been 6 o'clock, and then we would have been leaving. So
yeah,
it all worked out in the end.
So we got home at like 1 a.m.
2 o'clock in the morning.
2 o'clock.
We were home at 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yep.
We stopped at Texas Roadhouse, had some good grub. Why did you?
I mean, it's okay.
Right, so why stick your tongue out?
Because it's not my favorite thing.
Well, just because something's not your favorite, don't mean you gotta stick your tongue out.
Like, I wouldn't ever. I don't know. I know you like it, so.
Yeah.
Well,
most people like it.
So this weekend, hopefully.
Yeah, I would say most definitely we'll be going to Whitetails.
Because it's close.
It's close,
and that's also debating on. Right now, we're having camper issues.
I think I'll be
with our leveling system.
Yeah,
so hopefully it'll be fixed by then, and we can go.
Yep.
So we want to go to Whitetail.
I know. We really love and will miss Area 51 with our Empire family, but 45 minutes sure is nicer than 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So then after that is King of the Hill.
Yep.
That's King of the
Hill. So we'll be going to that.
Yep. And then not sure what we're gonna do.
The following weekend we are going racing also.
To Jack's track.
Yes, Jack's track.
So there we go. We're doing Whitetail, Palmyra, Jack's.
Yep. And then I think we'll be then Sick Brothers.
Yep.
So we have a month worth of racing.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yes.
Yep. A month worth of racing.
Yeah, because then the 13th we will not be racing. The 20th, so we're gonna miss Unadilla and Budds Creek.
Yep.
And then you are traveling with Matt Jackson to Indiana.
Iron Man.
That's all you. You were like, "Do you want to go?" I was like, "I do not."
Oh, fuck yeah, I can't. And then Matt, we did talk, and we are going to go no matter what. Whether even if he, you're
just gonna go watch.
Yeah, he just wants to go see the track, and so he can see what it'll be like for next year if he doesn't.
How many hours of a drive is that?
It's 10.5 hours.
Okay, well, again, that's all you.
Yeah, so
I've done too much.
I figured me and him, we split it. That's 5 hours each, pretty much.
That's all you guys. I'll be home.
Yep. We got to get hold of Stovers and try to make sure we can.
Yeah, we should give them a shout out. We met.
Yeah, shout out.
We met the Stovers. At Redbud Weekend, they were our neighbors. They were pretty sweet.
They were excellent.
We got some smoked meats from
Stovers and Rich. I don't know Rich's last name.
I don't know Rich's last name.
Never did figure it out, but he was a good guy. He was a smoker.
Yeah,
he was and I don't mean smoker. No, yeah, smoking meats.
Yeah, smoking meats, and
he may have smoked other things, but he definitely smoked meats.
And I gave him Bloody Marys, and then I went on the plane ride with Poppy.
Yep.
And yeah, they were good time. They were really good people.
Well, Poppy and one of the Stovers.
Yeah, Poppy and I rode together, and then MJ and I rode together.
Yep. Dave and Dean.
Yep, Dave and Dean, the twins.
Yep, the twins.
So
they also rode. Were quite quick.
Yeah, they were good.
Actually, one of them won. 1-1, and I think it was 55. Yeah, it was. It was 55.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I know they were in 55.
Yeah. Well, one of them did.
Yeah.
One of them did 45 and 55, I think.
Friday.
Yeah, Friday. They didn't race Sunday. They left.
I don't blame them.
No.
Right there, David Stover.
Yep.
First, 55 plus.
55 plus, and so I think Dean did. Dean did 45 and 55.
Yeah, and he ended up 6th in 55 plus.
Yeah.
So they're both pretty quick.
Yeah, they're good and really,
also,
really good guys.
Yeah, they're really
You
cool
couldn't
people.
ask for better neighbors to just happen to
that was
park
awesome.
by.
That was awesome.
Yep.
So year to date so far, Redbud really like murdered us on expenses. We spent about 14.
Murder. This is the expenses you can expect to pay.
The Redbud was about $1,400 just for that weekend.
Yep.
But year to date, like including buying other crap and other races, we're at about $5,500, which I think is more than what we spent last year.
Yeah.
So
well, last year you weren't figuring in bike expenses.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true.
You didn't know how much it cost to maintain bike, so
Yep.
now you do.
Yeah, unfortunately, I should have just let that go.
Yeah.
So yeah, we will be at Whitetail this weekend, and then we'll be.
Come say hi if you're there.
Yep, and then we'll be at King of the Hill. Hopefully, that'll be a good turnout for that event.
Yeah, it should be.
Yeah. So, all right. Peace out.
Peace out, everybody.